If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description. What's good, YouTube? You're getting a nice little bonus video today. As you may know, I played this Reptile quick draw thing at last RBET and had a kind of mediocre finish. Ended up going 4-3, and then I left to get food. Didn't play the next round after that, so I guess I could have ended 5-3, or I could have ended 4-4. But we'll never know. We ended up going 4-3, so a little bit unfortunate. I've switched the deck up a little bit since then. I've been messing around with different builds. This is the version that I have arrived on. The major changes from the previous one are that I swapped out the Scapegoat for Foolish Burial. In my games, I definitely felt like the Foolish Burial would have been better just because it's a little more proactive. Like, means you can just get that Vasky out straight away if you want, or get your Debris Dragon live instead of having to wait. Yes, it's nice having Goat to have that like defensive option. I did throw it in the side just for like, I don't know, OTK decks like dragons and zombies and stuff. But I think the Foolish is a little bit better. The other observations I made from my matches were that Offering to the Snake ZD was like the craziest card in the whole deck. So I went up to 3 on it just so I could see it, you know, because every time I drew it was like the most crazy powerful thing ever. Also, Hamster sucked, so I cut that card out. And Book of Moon, also kind of a card that goes along with the Hamster. I wasn't a fan of that, so I took it out. I think those are the major changes that we made. Oh yeah, we added a second Ananta as well. I felt like I wasn't seeing this enough. The card is pretty strong, and it gives me one more Reptile to potentially use Offerings to the Snake Deity with. Other than that, I've played around with some other builds that are more like Vasky heavy, like 3 Vasky with Goat and the third Debris. I didn't really like it. Kind of ended up going back to this 2 of everything build. That's probably weird in a weird way. I think it's the optimal ratios. So this is the version we're on right now. I do think the deck has potential. I think it's reasonably strong. It's just a matter of, you know, getting that right combination of skillful play and luck to hopefully pilot it to a top 8 finish at some point. But we're going to be looking at, I've been playing tons of practice games with this deck. We got some replays here today. Most of my practice games were against like just random crap that DB randos are playing, so it's difficult to get good games. These are the ones that I felt were against actually competent opponents rather than, well, there's one at the end that maybe you could argue isn't the case, but we're going to be going over it anyway because they like put hi YouTube or something in the beginning of the chat, so I felt obligated to. Anyway, we can talk about that later. Let's move on through the real replays first. So first one we've got is a sort of mirror match against another quick draw deck. This deck is interesting. The trade-off you really deal with is like you don't get to play the Avarice, right? But you're better against aggro matchups because you have the Offerings and the Gardna, and like the Vasky is another aggressive tool to play into boards. But in the mirror, it's like they get to play Avarice, but also you can just eat their tokens with Vasky and randomly sack like that. So I mean, it's pretty cool. With this hand, we decided to just set the Dandelion going first. Obviously, we have a Debris and a Reptilian, which is Reptilian Vasky. So the big combo play, of course, is like you summon Debris Dragon, you bring back the Dandy, you make Stardust, you drop Vasky, you set a back row, you pop a monster, attack a bunch for damage, and that's like a pretty difficult spot to play out of for most decks unless they specifically draw Brain Control. Which the opponent does have a Brain Control in their hand, and we are out of tokens here, so we actually can't do that Stardust play. I could have gone Black Rose, eat the field, summon Vasky, poke direct, set some cards, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I decided I wanted to Gore's Trag first, but then the opponent draws Rocket, and this is obviously really bad because they can stack for Plague and like do some crazy stuff with Brionic, which ends up happening. So they put back the shell with the Plague Spreader, I think. Yeah, so then now... No, they didn't put back the shell. That's weird. Why didn't they put back the shell? Surely they should have put back the shell. Anyway, they're going to get to bounce both of our monsters with shells. But hey, I was figuring at least we made him use all their shells, but then there's just a Pot of Avarice, right? Just when you think you've got the upper hand versus the Quick Draw deck, they always got that Pot of Avarice. So it wouldn't have been such an issue if we hadn't immediately been dust shooted here, right? Because we were just going to Black Rose, drop Vasky, go hard, all that, and then it's just like, no, actually, we can't. They did make an interesting play to bounce back their own Brionic, I guess afraid of some kind of Brain Control, like reversal just killing them. which is a viable thing to be afraid of, but I'm not sure that was correct at all. They definitely, I mean, even if they're going to do that, they definitely should have added a shell, right? Because there's just one more in their deck, they could draw it. Also, maybe they should have bounced the Caius, so they would have had the Brain Caius. I'm not really sure. Either way, we're getting screwed over hard by this Dust Shoot, right? Because now our hand doesn't do anything. We just have to full pass and then drop the Gores. And main 2, they can add a shell. I'm not sure why they hit into the Gores there, because they actually don't have a great answer. I'm also not sure why they didn't set Raikou. Opponent making some strange plays here. Why would you not set Raikou? I guess because I know about it? Just... Wait, no, I don't. Do I? I don't remember. I don't think we saw their hand, right? No, they just shoot at me. What am I saying? Yeah, I really don't know why they didn't set this Raikou. Either way, I play around Gores here, since I figure that's the best explanation for why they didn't play any cards. And then I just set them both, and I think I set the Sangan. Now they're going to activate the Accelerator. They hit my Set Monster, which was, unfortunately, the wrong choice. Generally, I think you should probably never hit the Set Monster in the matchup against the Reptilian deck, because it's like, there's Sangan, there's 2 Dandelions, there's 3 Reptilian Gardenas, it could even be Card Trooper, and then, like, what are the things you don't get punished for? It's like Naga, Raikou, that's it. So it's like just more likely, like by 2 to 1 or something, that you're just going to get owned when you do this. Anyway, we have a pretty clear line to lethal here, except they have Battle Fader. So we switch up the Raikou. The Raikou's going to pop the Gores, which is totally fine. I mean, whatever. We're bringing down that Vasky. We're going for game. This was a big mistake. I should have tacked with Vasky first to play around Tragodia, because we have that Offerings. So definitely, like, could have missed lethal for no reason if they had had Trag, but it's Fader, so it doesn't really matter. We just killed the Fader. They do have Quick Draw Dandy here. They also have Brain. I think they just try to do this to go for game or something. Is this game? Yeah, this would be game if my back row are just nothing, right? But obviously, my back row is something. We chain the Offerings. That's the end of the game, right? Like, kill their whole field. My opponent made some questionable plays that game, in hindsight. Like, maybe I shouldn't have kept this one. I don't know. It's, like, hard, though, because you're playing these matches. You play, like, 10. Half of them are just against, like, complete crap jank decks, which maybe I don't have a right to complain about that. But, and then the other half, it's like most of those players are making weird plays. And I don't mean to make fun of anyone or anything, but yeah, there was definitely some questionable things going on in that game, number one. Then again, I do questionable things too, so, you know, nothing to be ashamed of or anything. We go charge, mill. Obviously, this Drill Warrior is scary, right? That being said, it's like a weak Drill Warrior, I guess you could say, because there's no Dandy. I don't know why they didn't just charge. Why did they not charge? Why? Yeah, because, like, you could mill a Dandy, and that would be really good. And then you could start looping the Dandy. I don't know, it seems like it would be optimal to do that. And now they draw another Raikou. Oh my god, I hope they charge mill the third Raikou. That'd be so funny. I don't think it happened, though. Yeah, no. But now they have all 3 Raikous in their hand. But as you can see, there's just no reason not to just charge on that first turn. So anyway, they do Caius my monster, and we take a bunch of damage. Fortunately for me, I set the one that I kind of like wasn't too attached to, because we already have Vasky, and I guess we have multiple Raikous anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we're going to Allure, which finds us the much-needed out to the Drill Warrior here. Just like randomly draw into the Colossal, or the compulsory evacuation device, which is one of our only outs. Like this and Snake Deity are like the only realistic ones. So they go add back, and then they banish, and then we chain. So now they have to discard a card, and it still goes back to the extra deck, and now we Raikou pop. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think we end up getting this DDV live somehow. I judgment this Raikou immediately. I'm like, no. We need our guy. Now we get the Dust Shoot. We take the Debris, which I think is correct. The Crow just doesn't matter too much. Crow is super mid. Like, another hot piece of advice for this matchup. The cards in the main deck that Crow interacts with are 2 Debris Dragon and a Call, and some amount of that might even get sided out, so it's just, like, not worth playing Crow. It's not worth playing Crow at all. We're not on the Avarice. We're not on the Shell. We're not on, like, various things that Crow works against. Did they shuffle? They redrew the Debris Dragon. At the time, I was wondering if they shuffled, but I decided it didn't matter since I'm just going to DDV them anyway. Now, this does mean we don't have an offensive threat, but also they're just under DDV for 2 turns, and They go Avarice, put everything back. And I think they draw... What do they draw? They draw 2 more cards to just get hit by DDB, so it's like, it's very over. Oh, they just left after game 1. I could have sworn this was a full match. Alright, whatever. We're including this one anyway, since I've already done it. Let's go on to the next ones. These should all be full matches, surely. I didn't screw up twice in one video. This one's against Chaos Fairy. Our hand's a little mid, but we have the charge, so even if we get Dust Suited, we're pretty much safe. We go for the charge. We mill the Dandy, which is sweet. And I make a weird play where I'm just like, I'm going to set my cards and not summon this Vasky. But they just have End-Phase Typhoon, whatever. Here we go for the Drill Warrior. And then just Drill can get the Vasky live whenever we want. They drop Trag super late, which is just like, alright, dude. A little bit sus, but okay. They go for the Minecon, which unfortunately works out for them. It turns out to be the Raikou. And then we take some damage. And then this game just becomes like a race, I think, if I remember correctly. We need to get that out to the Tragodia, which we do have, fortunately. We can just drop that Vasky, pop the Tragodia, attack. We do get our full field banished by the Sork into Caius, which is... I was definitely not expecting. Just another, like, very good play. This, as you can see, they're playing My Fairy build. And My Fairy build just, like, plays really well into boards like this. You can just pick this stuff apart even when you're down on tempo. So we lose everything, but that's fine. The Drill's still in rotation. We draw the Compulse. Maybe I should have just added back Raikou and pitched the Compulse, thinking that the face down is probably... one of the decrees is gone, though, so I was like, it's probably not another decree. You know, the other things that could be set are, like, Return, Torrential, Dust Shoot, maybe a Heavy Storm. So there's only one decree left. It's not too likely, but it turns out to be that decree. They leave the Honest on the board. I decide we should probably play around Honest. Honest with the Honest, since there's not a lot of reasons you would just leave it there. They actually don't have it, so I kind of got owned here. Big issue is that this Compulse is just dead right now. We hold on to the Brain, and here we should be able to go for game unless they have a second Battle Fader. So we go for the Brain here, attack for 12, and then attack over the Sangan for lethal. So, I mean... we end up winning that one. Fortunate, like, every moment that you have Drill in play versus Fairies is just stressful because you never know when they're going to top deck Orange Light or find a way to get Christie into play or whatever. Here, they should not have opened like this. Man, they should not have opened like this. You can just set Sangan, set Torrential. Why are you summoning Valley? Yeah, I mean, they get punished for summoning Valley. Who would have guessed? I think we just go set. The End-Phase Decree. Should not End-Phase Decree here. You should wait for me to use the trap and then Chain Decree to it. Because now we're just going to pop the decree, and, well, it didn't matter in this case, because Raikou was going to out it no matter what, right? They make a really weird play here, where they, like, Orange Light my Turtle Search, instead of just Orange Lighting the freaking Debris Dragon. Now, if they had Orange Lighted the Debris Dragon, we would have crashed and then dropped Trag and then stolen the Troopers, so it's like, it wouldn't have been great for them, but they still should have done it. I assume at this point the only reason they're doing that is because they have Christia, so I try to just, like, summon a bunch of stuff, while I still can. And then they just don't have Christia, so I'm like, alright, that's confusing. We just start set passing. I don't know, I should be hitting set monsters, because if they top that Christia, it's live right now. So I realized that I should be doing that, and I hit into Angel. And then they specialed in defense mode, which you can't do, but it doesn't matter, so I just, like, let it go. Here, I'm thinking, alright, what are the chances that they have another set decree? Not too high, right? So we just go for it. They could have stopped this by booking the Turtle. And they probably shouldn't have. Like, it wouldn't have been great. It would have canceled out the Sork effect, so it kind of would have just been a 1-for-1. But it would have stopped their Angel from dying, and I was thinking, like, maybe they have Christia now, but they actually don't. So it just goes off, though. They don't realize, and, you know, I'm not obligated to explain to people that they can stop my trap card with Book of Moon in that situation if they really want to. Like I said, it's never really bad, because you're just trading 1-for-1 at the worst. It's kind of like Trooper into a D Prison or something. It's like the best answer, but it's not a great answer. That's a great explanation. Anyway, they hit over my Dandy. We just have Vasky in hand. At this point, I'm like, all right, I'm done messing around thinking about whether a trap is a return here. I'm just going to kill it all. So that's what we do. We summon the Vasky. It's a shame we can't keep that Dust Shoot for next turn. Obviously, we'd pretty much just win. They top deck a lore, very nice. The Christie is way too late. They bring down the Enrise, which if this goes to Graveyard, the Christie is actually live. Which is a little spooky. Yeah, actually, we're in a scary spot here. And there's this return just set. There's just multiple ways we could have lost this game right away. Fortunately, I'm like, no way am I letting that back row stay there. I bet it's returned. So, yeah, we kill it with the Ananta. I think these replays should demonstrate that the Ananta was just, like, always pretty good. I don't know, it's just, like, +1 the card. Yeah, they can use something to out it for free, basically, but, you know, it's just, like, a decent card. Just, like, kills stuff. It's easy to summon. It can be really big in the late game. It goes great with like Cold Wave post board. It's another way to get the offerings live. Just like lets you pop stuff. It's a decent boss monster. Here we drop the Trag, steal their guy, and then summon Vanity's Fiend. So we pretty much win from this point, right? Like, unfortunately for me, this thing is 0. So maybe I should have summoned something. I don't know. We wouldn't have been able to Vanity's Fiend main 2 if I had used my normal summon though. And now we have DDV, although it doesn't matter because we just have Lethal Ray. 18 plus 12 plus 24 is 54, so the opponent is big dead there. Next match is against Hero Beat, and apparently I pressed pause too late because my opponent has already summoned a Diva. And, I mean, this is pretty good going. Oh, I remember. This is the game I had a laughable brick, right? We just could not draw a starter to save our life. It was sad. We have Gores, though. They decide to respect it because their hand actually just straight up doesn't deal with it, right? At this point, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to brain and summon Quick Draw. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because if I had drawn Dandy at any point, Quick Draw just puts it in the grave for free. And then we have, like, you know, buckets. Oh, God. Voldemort is poisoned my mind with that one. Anyway, we're just passing back and forth, right? Like, we're just passing back and forth, all good. We set the bottomless, and I mean, that's prime bottomless food right there. No Miracle Fusion live for you. Opponent just needs to find a friggin' alias here. They're kind of bricked, same as me, although they have a Miracle, which is... No, that's dead still, too. At this point, I do go for Black Rose. And... Oh, yeah, this is a weird thing we don't catch where, like, I accidentally, like, leave the Black Rose there and attack with it, but we reverse it next turn, so don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. The opponent will gain 24 after this battle phase, and the Black Rose will be sent to the graveyard. I don't know how we didn't catch something like that. It seems pretty obvious, but yeah, I think at this point we do realize, wait, how's this Black Rose still here? So it dies. They use the Miracle, which they got live off the Future Fusion, but I mean, we have like just so much stuff. Oh, I made a huge misplay here, right? I should have added the Dandy back. Man, I was getting tired in this game. I should have added Dandy back, pitched it, made Stardust, summoned Vasy, killed their guy, then Stardust negate, and then I think I would have 1 token left, so I could go for game with Quick Draw. Even if I can't, I mean, it's still correct to go that route. Actually, yeah. So instead, we have to do some weird stuff where, like, we just pass with the Gores in our hand. I don't know what we were doing here. This was not smart. I just take the damage here. I'm like, maybe I can convince them later that I don't have Gores and they'll play into it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was on some serious crack this game, okay? So we just banished the Drill, and now I'm like, we're going for the Black Rose. I literally used Drill to put Black Rose back to my extra, which maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. We get our Debris compulsed, which they should have just compulsed the Dandy, probably. I mean, we're going to summon Vasky either way, I think. Maybe we just summon Iron Chain, though. I don't know. No, I think we'd probably just summon Vasky. Kills our whole board, whatever. We get 2 tokens. Opponent doesn't really have anything going on. We just get the Vasky back. We make the Stardust Vasky play that we should have done earlier. Yeah, we would have had 1 token left over, so we could have just, like, won the duel there. God, that was dumb. That was so dumb. Anyway, but I mean, this game's over, right? This game is super over. Stardust plus Offerings plus Vasky is just, like, way too strong. Game 2. This one was weird. We get absolutely owned by Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, I guess. Could have Typhooned that, maybe, but I don't know. Here they add Alias, which is really weird. Why would you not just go Stratos? This seems really aggressive. Fortunately, they draw another E-Call, so they can just Stratos next turn. What do we do here? We do set the Raikou, set the MST. Hopefully we mill Dandy. I mean, if we mill Dandy, this game is on, but unfortunately, I don't think we do. They do Miracle here. I mean, this is a lot of resources to commit. I guess they have the My Body, so they feel like they're not afraid of anything, but then they try to use it on Raikou and damage step, which just doesn't work. Wish I had milled the Dandy there. That would have been sick. Anyway, we Typhoon the dead thing. We go for Iron Chain. Figure Iron Chain can kind of clear both of these. And they mill like Thunder King Fiendish. I'm like, what the hell's going on? We do have to Judgment that, obviously. And then we crash, and then we set Dandy. And we set the turtle, set the other turtle. What even happens this game? I don't remember. Oh, we lose because they drew Brain Control, right? Man, I got Brain Controlled a lot in these replays, it felt like. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, actually, we're too low life to crash anything, so we can't do anything into this Brionac, so we just lose. Which, unfortunately, if I'd had anything proactive in my hand, we could have done it there, but I don't know. I didn't have a quick draw. I didn't have a brain. I didn't have a whatever, so I didn't have any, like, back row that actually do something. You know, no interaction whatsoever, just, like, double Vasky and then some normal summons. So, kind of awkward one there. We ended up losing where it felt like we could have maybe pulled that one back. We definitely came close. But it's going to game number 3. I mean, we have the Stardust Vasy combo, which I said before pretty much only loses to Brain Control. And you can see what's in the opponent's end. Man, I was just thinking, like, we're fine through anything except Brain Control here, right? And then they just have Brain Control. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. So they just take my guy, and then they out my whole field. And I'm feeling annoyed because I've got a Foolish and a Trag in my hand, and neither one of these really does too much right now. I just set the Raikou. They immediately top deck Nobleman, which actually, I mean, that doesn't feel too bad. That's kind of just whatever. Was this Raikou really going to turn the situation around for me now? I decided to Mirror. This might seem a little early to be using Mirror. And yeah, I pretty much agree with that. I don't know. I was just like slamming cards at this point because I was mad about the Brain Control. We do drop the Trag. I figure we can wall another turn with it, but then they have Miracle. And then they summon Gilman, attack. How did I win this, actually? This looks so unwinnable from this position. Like, we drew the second Dandy in our deck, which means the Foolish just never does anything. Let's see. If they had actually just summoned this Diva here, I'd have died. Yeah, seems like they should have won that. And they end up... Let's see, we do get to survive here because we have the offerings to take out their whole field. And now we're back at a decent spot. I mean, I could have compulsed my guy. I mean, I'm just like, nah, I don't feel like it. If they have Miracle, I would die, so I'm not doing that. And then here, I summon Debris and bring back Dandy. And I'm just like, at that point, I realized I kind of didn't want to do this, so I just figure I'll compulse it back next turn, which is what we end up doing. And then they don't hit over the Lone Fire, or the Dandy, which probably a bit of a mistake there. I guess they didn't want me to bring it back again next turn, but now we have like the legendary Black Rose Dandy Gardena combo, where we just go into Vasky, and the Vasky is going to run into Gores. I pretty much knew they had Gores at this point, but I wanted to hit into it so we could kill it, so they would have to crash the other thing and then hit in direct with a Warrior Monster, hopefully. And then I'll just drop Gores and win the game, and that ends up being what happens. So... kind of looked like they should have won this game 3. I mean, they definitely shouldn't have been in the position to win game 3, but they were because of stupid, dumb Brain Control. But yeah, I mean, we stole it. That's what happens, I guess. Our hand kind of sucks besides the Dust Shoot. We just take the Goblin. I guess I wanted them to have one less Dark for when they allured, but then they just don't allure, which is weird. But then they Dust Shoot me back, and they see my hand sucks. I set that pretending that it's Torrential. So obviously they're just playing around Torrential this whole time. Whatever. We're just passing because our hand doesn't do anything. I drop Trag finally. I hit into the set monster. It ends up being a Goblin. And then I think we set. And at this point I'm like super scared. But they just go for Caius. I big think and make them think I have that Torrential. We've eaten so much damage in this early game. We do have the offerings now, so we end phase use that, kill the set back row, get another one. At this point, it's pretty clear they don't have the out to the Torrential, so they're just playing around it some more. They have Dad, they probably pop my Raikou, but we just trained the Torrential. I'm not really sure why they played into it. They had to know we had it there. We do get the Naga, so now our Vasky can be live. I think we just... Oh, we just summon Vasky. Right, yeah. Oh, no, we just go for the full friggin'... Yeah, okay. Okay, this makes sense. I'm pretty sure I played around Gores here. Yeah, okay. I didn't even summon Vasky. I just, like, waited. That's sometimes the right thing to do. They are going to go Instant Fusion Caius, which they're on multiple Instant Fusion. That's crazy. I didn't really see this much. Maybe it got sided out in post-board games or something. Anyway, we hit for a bunch. All they have is deep prison, so we ended up winning that. Felt super weird. Felt like my hand was bricked as hell, but somehow, I guess just like the fear of torrential was enough. I do Judgment the Caius this game, which I think is probably fine to do. I don't know. We set turtle, set offering, and then we just go for the offering to the snake deity. They have call for Sangam, which is fine. It's just like an even trade. And what do I add? I added Naga. Was that even right? I don't know. We flip up the Raikou, and then we just set pass. They just pass. We're passing a lot this game. They end phase Typhoon my Allure, which was kind of the plan there, hoping they could use it on a kind of useless card. So here I decided to go for Vasky. We just hit over. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. I don't know. This felt like there was never really a good time to commit here. We do get Brain Caiused, which absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks. Yeah, we're losing a lot to brain control here. And I was really hoping that this Caius would just stay on the board so I could brain DDV, but that's not happening, and they just have combo and we're dead this turn. Don't know what I should have done differently that game, actually. I felt like it was just hard for some reason that I couldn't really identify. They hit into the turtle here, and then they just like aggressively play around Snake DD, which is like fine. I think I just torrential the Vanities because I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I might have used torrential too early, actually. Because I could have just set Raikou next turn and out of that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have summoned Trooper here. Maybe I should have set Raikou. Because we just play another Deep Prison and they summon Tomato. And then like this ends up being too late, but it does preserve my Raikou here, which is very good. We kill, and then their Dark Arm's kind of dead, but then they top deck freaking Mind Controlled out. Getting owned by Brain Mind just seems to be the theme of this video. Such dumb cards. So we do Crow here, but we're down bad. What can we do? We can Storm, and then we can just like make the Offerings thing and kill that. But we're in a top decking situation. We draw a second Vasky, not too good. The call's not bad. We set. Yeah, we're all just setting. What actually happened here? Oh, right. I chose not to DD Crow the Zombie Master, which it makes sense because if they have Caius or Diva, we can just rug it, but they randomly drew the second Diva, so we can't actually rug. So that's basically why we lost this game. I had to like try to Judgment this because I couldn't rug the Diva, and then they have the Judgment back, and then also they have the Heavy Stormed out, the Call of the Haunted, so I just die. Right, I think that's basically it. I don't know if I count that as a misplay, because it was just a random freak accident that they happened to draw both Divas. And you pretty much always want to preserve the Crow in the zombie matchup, but maybe since I was so low, I should have just used it. I'm not really sure. You can judge that one for yourself. Final match, this is the one I was talking about. It was against definitely a weird deck. This guy was just playing like Stall Burn, but as you can see, they put high YouTube right in the beginning, so I was like, alright, guess I have to upload this. Apparently they're on main deck Thunder King. Wow, I didn't even remember that because I was just like sitting there for 40 turns playing against Stallburn. But yeah, main deck Thunder King, they just hit into the Raikou outs it, whatever, they set their whole field. This game's super weird, actually. What even happened? We get our Debris Chalice. Should I even be going for this? I guess I just wanted to set up my field for Caius. We go Foolish. And then we can pulse our guy back. It gets... No, we go for Black Rose. That gets finished. I'm like, damn, wish I had Compulse right now. But the Compulse has been used. So... I think I just lose this one because I hold the Caius too long, if I remember correctly. I was just like trying to wait for something. But I should have just Caius this turn, I guess, because now we take 6,000. And they actually didn't have like a Phoenix Chain or whatever to stop it. So I could have just outed the... I don't know, I was being dumb. This was probably late at night or something, I'm not sure. I've been known to be dumb. I've said it before. I'll say it again. So we have to go to game 2. Fortunately, I think this is a pretty good matchup. Reptile, it's like, we don't really get aggressive to kill the burn deck fast, but like you have so much removal, right? You got Raikou, you got Caius, you got 3 offerings to the Snake Deity. You got Ananta even. It's just like everything is spot removal. Everything is just like kill card for free. So, I mean, the games are long as shit, right? They are long as shit, but at the same time, it's like we are taking positive trades here, except this one. This is not positive. This is a -1. But it's fine, because like the Mirror Force barely even counts as a real card here, so we're okay with going 2 for 1 on that Stardust. We do got to out that Wave Motion. I mean, we have Cold Wave to bring in post board, which is pretty good, right? Because we just wait for Debris Dragon and then activate Cold Wave, and then guaranteed all of their back row are just gone unless they have the Dark Bribe or the Solemn Judgment or whatever. We Dust Shoot. We see their hand. There's no monsters. Okay, whatever. I think their only monsters are freaking Stealth Bird and Lava Golem. I decide, all right, I'm not waiting too long this time. We're going to Cold Wave right now, get rid of that stupid, dumb, freaking Wave Motion Cannon. And then Ananta should pop something. Ananta just kills the back row. That's Starlight Road gone. Now we hit in again. Ananta pops another card just for free. And then we set the offerings. We know Starlight Road is gone, so they're probably going to have to set their new sort of stopper in the end phase, and we're just going to pop that with the offerings, which I actually don't do. I just go end phase. I'm just like, Ananta can keep killing things, right? So they chain Fiendish. I'm like, all right, we'll chain this offerings and force that Starlight Road. Then I'll Judgment the Starlight Road. So now 4 of their cards are just gone to 3 of mine. Another nice little +1. They draw Lava Golem, which they can use. Oh, wait, I chain Compulse to this MST. Wow, actually just destroyed. So they go sets. Fine, we go for the Caius, hit a random back row. I think we get Chaliced or something. No, we actually don't get Chaliced. That would just be a waste. That would just make our guy bigger. So now they're down to 500. We summon the Ananta. We pop a card. Oh, no, wait. The Ananta gets stopped by the Horn of Heaven. All right. Horn of Heaven's a weird one, by the way. Very weird. They do break down the Lava Golem. We just bottomless it. I mean, no reason to leave it there. Go for call. Try to attack for game. Eat that Gravity Bind. Main phase 2. We set Raikou. And then we mind control the Stealth Bird, and that's going to be it. Man, this is a weird match. They actually had to stop for the Stealth Bird, but they died at the Caius burn. Yeah, it's not really going to matter. I don't know why I brought in DDV. It doesn't hit anything. I didn't have enough good cards in my main deck. I'm like, I guess this can out the Stealth Bird and give me full info. So the Mask of Restrict here is interesting, because now I don't have to play around Lava Golem. And also, if they summon Stardust, it doesn't work. I'm not even sure they should be siding this, actually. It like really messes up their deck. They go for swords, they see all the cards, and we're just waiting. We're in the Debris Dragon waiting room, right? We go for the Raikou, pop the Macro Cosmos, which maybe I don't know if I should have done that. Maybe I should have just waited. Now we go for Storm, and I figure we can do something here, but then they have 2 stops. I'm just like, all right, well, guess we can't. We take some damage to the Stardust, but they still can't use the Lava Golem or the Stardust Dragon. We go for the Torrential. Surprisingly, they did not have a Dark Bribe set, so we're all good. We use all of our effects, but we can't summon out these Voskies until I actually get rid of this Mask of Restrict, which I think I plan to do eventually. We go for the Drill Warrior, but it eats a Horn of Heaven. Okay. They activate Messenger of Peace. Now we go for the Cold Wave, but they chain Skill Drain, so I'm like, all right. Guess I gotta out the Skill Drain then first, huh? Which is what we plan to do. We kill it with the Raikou. They chain the Phoenix, which just doesn't do anything, so they shouldn't have chained the Phoenix because we have the Compulsory. I mean, even if it was Book of Moon, Compulsory, whatever the plan was there, chaining Fiendish wasn't going to do anything. So now we make the Black Rose Dragon, we kill everything. Shame we can't resolve the DDV, but it is what it is. We summon the Reptilian Vasky, attack directly, activate Foolish. Maybe should have waited on this. Foolish activation. I guess it guarantees that we have a Caius, but it lets them Lava Golem me. So I think I just flipped the Lava Golem attack. They have no stops. Man, this is just a dumb, stupid duel. Why am I even showing this? We go for a lore. The danger at this point is that we might deck out, but I think we have enough just removal and stuff. So, I mean, we have a Nanta and Caius. This is just like, we're outing their field, right? We go for Caius. We hit the set Stealth Bird. They Chalice. Okay, well, we summon this. We basically know it's Stealth Bird. We still have Call up, too. So, yeah. And their back row just isn't enough. We still had Call and Vasky. We had so much gas. So the burn deck is going to go down to the, like, just pile of infinite removal that is the Reptile deck. I'm definitely feeling pretty positive about this list. Like I said, sometimes it's just a matter of time. Sometimes it's just a matter of showing up to enough events over and over again and playing your best until finally you make it into, you can sneak into Top Cut with Reptiles. So I'm keeping a positive mindset. I'm probably going to try it out a few more times at least. Not at Rulers, as I've said. I've kind of decided what I'm playing at Rulers already, but just, in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Reptile Marathon. I definitely have enjoyed playing these games. This deck is super fun. It's super cool. And I hope you all agree on that. So hope you enjoyed your bonus video for the day. Not often I upload twice in a day because uploading once in a day is a lot of work already. But here you go. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments section. Give it a thumbs up and I'll see you next time. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content and it's a great way to help support the channel.